I'm here today to talk about what's currently going on in my next steps with this whole process. So what I had done was May 19th, I had the ultrasound at my original OBGYN's office. And that's when we found the empty 5-week gestational sac. And then after that, on Monday, we didn't do any blood work testing, which I find absolutely asinine. I don't understand why. But we had scheduled an appointment 2 weeks later when I was around 9 weeks based on my last month's period. So we set up that one, and I decided to start working with my midwife, and I came home, and of course we were a bit upset, not sure, because this woman just told me that I might have a chemical pregnancy, and we're just worried about it. So we set up that ultrasound, and I started talking to my midwife, and she told me basically that we could go ahead and start getting the blood work done and everything. So that following Monday, the 23rd, I went in with her, and I had my blood drawn. I had about 4 or 5 vials drawn, and that was to measure my Hcg and my progesterone. I have not heard back on the progesterone yet, which sucks. It's been a week now, a week and 1 day, and that sucks because I was supposed to get it back within 2 days, and I don't know what's going on at the lab. It's not my midwife's fault. It's just the lab that has my blood. They're just taking a while to get back to me. Progesterone is extremely important for me to test out because it may be the factor that is making me lose my pregnancies. So that's the next thing that I'm waiting to hear back on. So I had that drawn, and I had my blood drawn on Monday for my Hcg levels, and they were at 20,464. I want to say it was 2464. I'm going to look it up real quick. And that's great. I hadn't quite known I was miscarrying yet. I started bleeding on that Saturday, so 2 days after the ultrasound. So I got my Hcg tested on Monday. And yeah, I was still spotting and everything, but we were like, okay, that's a great number for a 6-week pregnancy. Because we were basing it off of, okay, the sac measured 5 weeks, so let's pretend like I'm going on 6 weeks this week. Even though based on my last month's period, I would have been 8 weeks. So that's a great number for it. Fantastic. It was either 20,464 or 20,474. It was one of those. So I'm in the 20,000s. And then when I go to the hospital on Wednesday, they pull my Hcg as well, and it ended up being 13,100. The exact number, I don't remember. Sorry. I seem to always have heartburn during these videos. I don't know why. Excuse me. So I went from 20,000 to 13,000. So duh, of course, I'm having a miscarriage. It's going to come down. It's going to dramatically drop. Compared to last year, though, when I went in at 9 weeks, I had never had an ultrasound. So I didn't get to see the sac or anything, or see if there was a baby, or if the baby had passed away earlier and I was just then passing it. But when I went in then at 9 weeks, my Hcg in the hospital was only 4,000. That's so low. So we don't know, though, because I hadn't seen a doctor at all before my hospital visit. We don't know where I started when I found out I was pregnant. We don't know how quickly I was dropping in my hormones. We don't know anything. So all I know is that I left that hospital with a 4,000 Hcg reading. It took me 3 to 4 weeks to drop down below 5. And I know that because I got testing every single week at Genesis for my Hcg. So I just walked in, got my blood drawn, walked out, got the results in a couple days. So it took me 3 or 4 weeks to come down. So I went from 20,000 some on Monday to 13,000 some on Wednesday. And then I had my blood drawn on Friday. And let me go back to it real quick because I have it here. I told my mama. Okay. So my blood work on Friday, which was 48 hours difference from when I had my blood drawn at the hospital. 48 hours, it's down to 1,300 and a couple, like 13 something. 1,300 from 13,000. That's 10,000 HCG levels that dropped in 2 days. That's an amazing drop. So I'm stunned, and it may take a couple weeks for me to come down from the 1,000. We don't know. I could come down only like 200 every week. So it could be a slow decline, but I am thrilled because the closer I get to 5 or under, I can start to try again. I go in tomorrow to my new OBGYN's office. I get to meet the man. I'm going to ask for an ultrasound so that we can make sure I passed everything. And I think I did, because like all day today, I've had no spotting, no bleeding. I literally just did, I went to the bathroom right before this video, and it is 7:30 at night on Tuesday, May 31st. So I just used the restroom actually right before this video, and I had just the tiniest bit, but that's all I've had all day, including like last night. Like I had none last night. So I'm really excited. I think it's finishing up on its own. I'm pretty sure I passed everything by myself. I'm hoping I don't need to take the pill or have a DNC. If I do, I'm going to see if I could just take the pill, because I'm really trying to avoid a DNC because the recovery is going to be much longer. And I just don't want to have to do that to my body. And I understand that I may have to. Medically, it's there to help me and not get infections. But God, I'm hoping that I just passed everything naturally like I did last year. So I have 2 of the pregnancy tests from this week. So I didn't get my HCG level from Friday. I didn't get it until this morning. I learned what the number was. So on Saturday, I went ahead and took a pregnancy test to see, because the pregnancy, the test line is going to be lighter as I drop in my hormones. So I took this one. It's probably a little difficult for you guys to see, but you can clearly see. This is the control, never changes, always going to be there. This is the test line. So it may not seem really dark here on camera, but it's pretty close to the control line. So that was Saturday the 28th, midday. And this one is today, midday, the 31st, midday. And I'm not sure how well the video quality is going to turn out, but I'll tell you that this line is like not much. Like it's there, but it has definitely dramatically changed. So yay, like that's like the only time in your life you're ever going to wish for like a negative test, is when you've passed on a pregnancy and you're ready to jump back into it. So I'm just really excited tomorrow for my appointment, hoping everything went smoothly, hoping everything went well. I'm also going to ask about prenatal vitamins. I'm still taking them, of course. A, they're just good for you, and B, I'm going to be getting back into the swing of things, so I want to make sure my body stays on the on track with the vitamins and everything. And but I know that when I spoke with a woman at WIC, she had explained that most over-the-counter, well, she hasn't ever seen an over-the-counter prenatal that has iron in it. And it's true. The one I have upstairs does not have iron in it, which you can get iron through your food, but it's really important to have enough of it during pregnancy. So last year I was prescribed from Genesis on my follow-up. The gentleman did prescribe me prenatals, but they were horrible. Like they were huge and they were herbal and they were just, I don't like them. So this time around I'm going to ask if he can prescribe me some of them, but I'm really hoping they either have like a liquid form or like a chewy or something not as big, because they were horrible. Oh, they were horrible. I can remember them now and I hate them. Other than that, I don't think I have much else to talk about. Oh, also on Friday, the 27th, I did have my blood work drawn for my thyroid. A couple of you have reached out to me in regards to getting my thyroid checked. that's something, absolutely, that was on my list of things I wanted to look at, because I know that it can have an effect on pregnancy and getting pregnant, everything like that. So I did have that tested. Everything came back normal. My midwife told me that all of the screening, my report came back as normal. So that's the good thing. And I understand completely that thyroid is something that may not show up for a long time, and a lot of people don't have symptoms. A lot of people's reports come back normal or totally fine, but they may still have a thyroid problem. As of right now, we just kind of have to take it as is. I haven't had any symptoms of anything that would affect my thyroid that I know of. One of my near and dear friends just went through thyroid cancer and radiation treatment, and so I know a bit about it now, talking to her with her experience with it. So the good thing is I don't have anything that screams, hey, something might be wrong with your thyroid, and my reports came back good. So it's something I'm gonna constantly check on, make sure everything's okay though, just in case anything does take a turn and change. But I think based on all of the research I've done, based on my testing and things, I think my problem is going to be progesterone, and that my body doesn't produce enough. That's really, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for, because you can take it in a pill, you can get a shot, and the shot is different. You may have to take it weekly, you may have to take it 1 month at a time, you may only have to take it once during your first trimester. But regardless, that's where I'm thinking it's gonna end up being, because I am anatomically 100% healthy down there. I have nothing wrong on the inside of my female organs. So that's why it's kind of like, we really need to do some testing, because physically you take an ultrasound and you look at my uterus and my ovaries and my fallopian tubes, and nothing's wrong. There's no blockage, there's no cyst, there's nothing wrong with them. My uterus isn't tilted or shaped oddly. Everything's fine. Every doctor who's ever gotten a scan on me has said you should be able to house a baby physically. So now comes the whole blood work testing and the hormone testing and everything. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. And I do want to thank you guys for all of your support. I've had so many of you message me and talk to me about similar things that have happened to you, or you've just come and apologized. And you know, you don't have to apologize. It's part of life. And I appreciate that though. I appreciate your condolences. I appreciate the love and support that you've given to me and Darren, because we are in this together. He may not sit next to me and talk about it or anything, but I mean, it is a two-man job. So I just want to thank you guys for that, and I'm excited for my doctor's appointment tomorrow, and I will update you guys. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye guys.